So you want to play Ghostface. Perfect. I, as of recording this, am a P51 Ghostface main. I've been playing for about a year now. I'm not as experienced as a lot of the really big names, but I'm just making this so that my friend has something to kind of go off of because he don't play Ghostface. Not a lot anyway. So yeah, we're just gonna go over power, add-ons, and some fun little tips regarding everything that I can give you. And that's about it. I don't got much else to say. He is pretty simple to learn, but getting good with him takes a while. So his power. Ghostface's power consists of Night Shroud itself, a reveal mechanic, the ability to stalk, and the ability to crouch. Night Shroud is tied to the ability to stalk and to be revealed. To activate Night Shroud, just hit your primary power button. By default, it's like right click or something. You'll know you're in Night Shroud because 1, your arms will move, you'll have the undetectable status effect, and it'll make a sound and the prompt at the bottom will change to stalk. To crouch, you just hit your secondary power button. The prompt is not shown on screen, but you'll know you're crouched because you'll hear a noise and your view will bend down. It is a toggle, so you don't need to hold the button. Now, stalking is your main power as Ghostface. Basically, the more you stalk a survivor, the more the little bar in the HUD fills up. Once they hit 100, they are marked for 60 seconds, and they suffer from exposed until the mark goes away. This is not affected by a vigil, so you don't have to worry about it going away early like you would with Clown's Purple Bottles, Nemesis Tentacle Hindered, Freddy Dream Snare, stuff like that. Stalking itself can only be done if you are within 40 meters of a survivor and have line of sight on any part of them. You do not need the whole survivor body in view. Really, you only need a little bit. It's actually insane. That's good, because if you want to stalk a survivor, you want to be preferably leaning to double the rate, and then stay out of view. Just a reminder on stalking before we get into reveals, there are 2 ways to stalk: standing and leaning. Standing is slower, but it's good for like last minute marks on like a 99 survivor. Leaning is good because it makes it harder to be seen and doubles the rate. With that out of the way, let's get into revealing. Now, if you look in the wiki, the Ghostface page will tell you how the reveal is supposed to work, except during the All Kill Comeback update, it got updated. It seems the range at which you can reveal the Ghostface has been reduced from anywhere from 18 to 22-ish meters about? I'm not sure, I did some testing earlier. The basic idea is that to be revealed, survivors have to keep about 30% of your model in roughly the center part of their screen within that limited range. I think it mostly just counts the chest, so legs and the mask and arms will not be as effective. But for the most part, I think that's how it's working currently. I think. They mess with this system, this could be entirely wrong. Now, if they break line of sight before you get revealed, do not immediately give it back to them because it does not reset progress. The progress decays, so stay hidden for another second or 2. Just trust me, this will be a very helpful tip to learn. Reveals are also broken with bots. Now, bots as Ghostface, believe it or not, are going to be your biggest enemy. I know, that's weird. You would think like, oh, getting pallets done, flashlight blinded, anything that would like make it harder to hide and make it easier for them to know where you are. No. Bots are little shits, and they're little cheaters. Bots will pretty much always know where a stealth killer is. Makes it much harder for them to actually use their power. So this is where I bring up a very important part that makes playing Ghostface kind of easier, is if You cannot get marks off at all. You can't even stalk a survivor. Do not be afraid to just hit them. You need to be smart about when you do this. Obviously, don't hit a survivor you have with over like 80% stalk, I would say. 75 to 80 is a good cutoff. But if you're chasing a survivor and you got revealed and they don't even have much stalk on them, just hit them. Because if those survivors don't heal because they're thinking, oh, I'm injured, I'll get value out of resilience now, they will not know when you are going to ambush hit them. They will not know when you're going to just sneak up with undetectable and stab them. Survivors that do not heal against Ghostface pretty much always die because it completely negates the need for his power. You just walk up quietly and stab them and then they die. It is as simple as that. And if they do heal and they heal under hook, do not be afraid to stay near a hook, because if they go for the unhook, you can start stalking a survivor as they're being unhooked, and the rescuer. You can get 299s at once. It's fantastic. And if they heal under hook, they're not leaving. Sorry, survivors are stupid, and that's part of why Ghostface is kind of weird on power. He's very, very good at stomping public lobbies most of the time because they can't communicate and they're stupid. But against more experienced survivors and Swifts, oh, he is miserable. Anyway, yeah. Bots will pretty much never lose line of sight of you and will always know where you are. So just be careful when you're trying to stalk them. Next up, we need to discuss Ghostface's add-ons. Yes, I am recording this way after the other voiceovers. Shut up. Ghostface really only has like 3 add-ons I would ever run, especially if you play him a lot. But I have some options and alternatives for fun ones to try and a couple cheaper ones to run if you don't have the blood points to spend and pour into this man for like a bunch of purple add-ons. Starting off with the basic ones, we have Cheap Cologne. Now, Cheap Cologne is, in my opinion, just one of the better brown add-ons. 2 of them just really aren't that good. Those being Philly and headline cutouts, because Philly mathematically don't do shit. And headline cutouts is a good, nice feel-good, but doesn't actually help you during the match. So Cheap Cologne makes it so that whenever you mark a survivor, instead of a base 60 seconds, they suffer from the marked for 70 seconds, which means they are exposed an extra 10 seconds. Now this can be a pretty good make or break in chase sometimes, especially this is a very heavy time-based game. And while it's nice, I also don't think it's necessary to run. This is just kind of if you are constantly like good in chase, but you get outlasted by 60 seconds, run this, it'll cover your weakness. But there is a chance you just never get any value out of this if you're running it. The other brown add-on I recommend running, and quite frankly, the only one I really think is worth running of the 4, like super, super big, is Wall Ice Matchbook. Wall Ice Matchbook brings Nitrod's cooldown down from 15 seconds to 13 seconds, which is huge. Ghostface's cooldown for Night Shroud is kind of ridiculous at 15 seconds. It used to be 30 seconds when he first launched. Thank God it's only 15 now. It was 17 when I first started playing the game. But reducing by 2 seconds is a pretty good effect for a brown add-on, all things considered. I feel like a lot of people very much undervalue this one and overvalue Philly. Another really good add-on if you have the blood points is the outdoor security camera. Whenever you down a marked survivor, the auras of all survivors are revealed to you for 7 seconds. +2 with Lethal Pursuer brings it to 9. This is huge. This is actually better than some aura reading perks, believe it or not. If you can down a marked survivor, the only thing this is going to be countered by is Distortion or any perk that would reasonably give elusive outside of another survivor being hooked, i.e. Self-Preservation. Self-Preservation does not counter this, which is huge. Distortion counters this, but if you're constantly getting marked downs, they won't have the tokens to feed Distortion, probably. I don't really know off the top of my head what other survivor perks give elusive that this could reasonably counter this. So the only other thing that counters this is going into lockers. But in all honesty, like, how are they going to go into a locker if they don't know you're about to darn down their teammate, you know? If you hate exhaustion perks, Night Vision Monocular and or Victim's Detailed Routines are both really fun to run. Night Vision Monocular a little more. Survivors suffer from exhausted for 10 seconds after revealing you or 5 seconds after marking them. This choice entirely depends on how often exhaustion impacts your playstyle. Night Vision is much better for if you are playing a more chase-oriented style instead of marking them. And instead of getting pre-run, you'll get revealed and then get like hit with dead hard or something depending on where you are in the game. Victim's Detailed Routine is nice if you are constantly getting pre-run after marking people in generators, or marking them in chase, like at the start of a chase, and you just can't make the distance up. That means no sprint burst, that means no life, that means, again, no dead hard, no head on. Exhaustion perks are countered. Now, I wouldn't run these at the same time, personally, just because you really only need one of these at a time for value, and then the others, they're just better ones. This isn't my personal favorite one, but a lot of people really like this one. Olsen's Wallet. Whenever you break a wall or pallet, if Nitro is on cooldown, it is instantly recharged for you to use again. This is pretty neat. Like, let's say you stalk a survivor and you get them to 99 and then they reveal you and you have to do this long chase now. Now, the second they drop a pallet on you, if you break it and then can keep good distance, you can instantly pop Nitro out, mark them, and then stab them. Pretty good. I don't like running it because I feel that I don't get in the situation enough to warrant me running it. But if this is a common thing for you, yeah, go ahead. Then, of course, my personal favorite combination that I've been running right now. Probably his two best add-ons, by the way. I know Ott says Outdoor Security Camera, Ghostface Call and Tape are his best, but most actual Ghostface mains will tell you these are his best add-ons. Driver's License and Drop Leg Knife Sheath. Driver's License is basically a mini Pain Res DMS in one add-on slot. Generators, if you mark a survivor repairing a generator, that generator will explode, lose 20% of total progression, like Pain Res, mark the survivor repairing it, and then block the generator for 15 seconds. So not as bad Dead Man's or Deadlock. This doesn't stack, so if you mark 3 survivors on one generator, it only factors into one survivor. So you're not losing 60% of progress and blocking it for 45 seconds, for example. It's a flat 20 no matter what, and then it blocks for 15 seconds no matter what. This is one of his best add-ons, and this is also rewards you greatly if you stalk someone from far away and then don't chase them, because they're going to either get off the generator or just going to wait it out, and then you can get another chase and force them off that generator anyway. And of course, best for last, the one that they really should just make base kit already, Drop Leg Knife Sheath. Grants a 10% haste status effect for 5 seconds after marking a survivor. I don't think I need to explain why this is so good. I feel like anyone who's ever gone against or played a ghost match of Ghostface in their life can understand why this is so good. Being able to close the distance between the survivor you marked faster is huge, and it's one of the reasons why this is his most used add-on, alongside the fact that add-ons right now especially are not impacted by diminishing returns. If you stack this with one of his best perks, Play With Your Food, you have potentially up to 25% haste for 5 seconds while chasing down a survivor. They can't get away. It's a guaranteed down right off the bat, unless you mark them right next to a pallet, but don't do that. Don't do that. The rest of his add-ons, honestly, not that good. I wouldn't recommend running any of them ever. If you want my personal combination, it's drop leg and then either driver's license or outdoor security camera. But each add-on has its use. I run driver's license right now because I have a full aura build, and it feels redundant to have outdoor on when I have barbecue and chili. So yeah, that's all his add-ons basically. So of course that only leaves really his perks left to talk about, or at least perks that work with him, I should say. There are, if I did my counting correctly, 142 killer perks in the game at the moment. And I really can't recommend a good chunk of them. I threw together a very quick tier list of what I feel, or how I feel about the perks in the game relating to Ghostface specifically. And you'll notice that the top ones are all fairly commonly ranked ones for Ghostface up there. Play with your food, barbecue and chili, discordance, corrupt intervention, mindbreaker, surge, deadman's, eruption, lethal pursuer, pain resonance, friends till the end, hex hive mind, and trim at the clock are probably Ghostface's best perks at the moment. For no real fault of his own, other than they all tend to either cover his weakness or elevate a very important part of his playstyle. Because with the way Ghostface is designed, you are not going to get any value out of perks that incorporate your terror radius, with a couple exceptions, or just stealth perks in general. There are obviously some other things on here that really make sense to be at the bottom, like Shattered Hope, Unrelenting, Strider, Shadowborn, Terminus, Septic Touch. Perks that basically don't incorporate well into your kit are not going to be good to run on Ghostface. There are obviously a few that are just kind of, I say a few, that's 3 rows plus 2 adjacent perks that are like just kind of okay, and like you really shouldn't be running them, but I could see kind of why you would. Maybe Whispers is the weirdest one for me to put down there, only because I think Whispers, if you're really, really good with it, can work on any killer, but I'm not, so I'm not going to rank it too highly. But I feel like I don't need to explain why his best perks are his best perks. Play with your food works exceptionally well with insta-down killers, which Ghostface is, and combined that haste with the haste from Drop Like Knife Sheath, it doesn't get hindered by diminishing returns, so you could have, for up to 5 seconds at a time, a solid 25% haste maximum. Assuming that's the only haste perk you're running. Barbecue and Chili, amazing perk all around. 40 meters or further, survivors get revealed to you with auras if you hook a survivor. It does kind of force you to hook as far away from everyone as possible to get maximum value out of it, which is kind of annoying with Ghostface because you have no mobility, but if you're running Play With Your Food, that kind of negates it. Discordance, very undervalued one. Knowing if survivors are doubling up on a generator is phenomenal, because this works both ways. If you never hear this perk ever, you know they're splitting gens. You know that they're splitting gens, which means you can figure out where to prioritize and pressure. If they are constantly triggering this perk, they are constantly doubling or even tripling up on gens. It's just good information all around. Corrupt Intervention makes sense for the 3 from you are blocked for 2 minutes. That is huge. It alleviates early game pressure and makes it so they have to come to you. And if you get good vantage angles, you can get some really nice early 99s or even a snowball into a markdown 4-man slug immediately. It's phenomenal. I don't run it. I should run it, but I don't. Mindbreaker, anti-exhaustion and blindness. This is evil in solo queue because blindness makes it so that it counters windows and any and all aura reading perks. Obviously, countering exhaustion is huge. Smart players will know how to work around this, so you might still have to deal with the exhaustion perks, but solo queue, you get a wide range of players anyway, so yeah. Surge, kind of obvious. Downs, it procs on every M1 down ever, and you're playing an M1 killer with Ghostface. The one thing that I have to kind of remind you about Surge, it is the only gen regression perk left that does not work with total possible progression of the generator. It is current progress. So like, think like Pop Goes the Weasel was for a bit before they changed it to back to like total progress, like flat rate. It's such a weird, it's the only one, at least off the top of my head, it's the only gen regression perk left like this, and I really hope they change it, because if I can find it on the wiki, yeah, 8%. 8% of current progress, which cannot be a lot. 32 meters is also not super big of a range, but I get why they wouldn't make that much bigger solely for game balancing purposes. But it could be worse. It could be worse. And again, you get this every time you get it down on Ghostface. This is pretty good. Deadman's, I wonder why that's on here. There's surely no reason why blocking a generator for 25 to 35, I don't remember which one it is, seconds upon a survivor letting go after you hook is great. Eruption is very tricky to use, but it's very, very good if you can. Kicking a generator and then downing one. 10% flat progress on all generators you kick. Any survivor that is repairing it has their aura revealed to you. Regression rate, it's just a really good perk. Lethal Pursuer. It's basically just like a different way to have corrupt intervention. I wouldn't run those two together. Probably not a good idea, but Lethal Pursuer at the start of the match is always really good. Never mind the ignore the secondary effect of, oh, it increases all timed aura readings by 2 seconds, which is great. Ignore that for a second. You see all survivors at the start of a match for 9 seconds. That is huge. Gives you good information, because if you see survivors walking, you know, oh, they have sprint burst, don't chase that one immediately. It gives you information on if survivors have distortion, which most survivors don't run distortion anymore. But if someone does, for whatever reason, now you know. And of course, it lets you figure out if they are all spawning together or separate, because spawn logic in this game is fucked. Lethal is great. I love Lethal. Then why it wouldn't be good on Ghostface either, especially on person in the game. No reason why it wouldn't be good on Ghostface either, especially when you pair it with Deadman's. Friends Till the End. Probably one of the best obsession perks in the game outside of Play With Your Food. It's really good information if survivors can't counter it. It is very easy to counter, to be fair, because all you have to do is just get in a fucking locker. But if you can keep the ball rolling, constant obsession, constant information on the obsession is really nice. Hex Hive Mind is one of the three newest killer perks, and one of the two to make it up here. Information on which gen's being worked on. This is just basically better discordance, but with a hex caveat. Pretty much all it is. It's really good. And survivors most likely will never know that it's in play, because there's no actual indication on their side that it's in play. It's really nice. Turn back the clock. Feel like that makes sense. Save some time kicking a generator from a distance. And you can do it mid-chase. It's really nice. Other strong options. Now, these are the only other ones I would really recommend running without a dedicated build in mind. Although, to be fair, if you're playing Ghostface, you need dedicated builds in mind to really get the most value out of perks that you pick, because he's such a low tier killer. Noed. This makes sense. A lot of times with Ghostface, you will probably be getting to endgame. Noed is a very good fallback if you are consistently getting to endgame and not being able to snowball there and get the turn the tide, you know? Sloppy Butcher. You're an M1 killer. Every hit you have is going to activate this perk. Spies from the Shadows. Very good. Not my personal favorite to run, but it is an undeniably strong perk on Ghostface. Brutal Strength. You're going to get pre-dropped a lot as Ghostface. This will help you chew through pallets faster. Lightborn. You're playing a D-tier killer. If you load into a flashlight squad, bring Lightborn. Trust me, bring Lightborn. A Nurse's Calling. Although it was kind of slightly nerfed, it does kind of like have very good use, especially if you're in stealth mode a lot, because they won't hear you coming with the heal. You can hit the person who's healing, down them, or hit the healer. Now you have 2 injuries. Very nice. Dying Light is a very slow rolling perk, but once it gets enough tokens, it becomes pretty tough to deal with. It also, even even with diminishing returns, it still pairs fairly well with another perk in this tier, which we'll get into. Hex Devour Hope. Should not need to explain why that one is strong at all. Overcharge is a very interesting one because the thing with Overcharge is that it does not sound particularly great until you actually like think about it for a minute. Every time you damage a generator, the next survivor that touches it is faced with a difficult skill check. And then if they miss, there's extra regression added, along with the fact that over the 30 seconds, the rate at which it regresses actually increases. So even though it might start at 85% of its normal value, after 30 seconds is at 130. So now that generator is decreasing or regressing faster, which is very cool and very nice and phenomenal if you can make good use of it. Fire Up is kind of here for the same reason that Brutal Strength is here, only Fire Up boosts everything slightly. It is pretty good, and if you even with diminishing returns, it still stacks fairly nice with Brutal Strength. So yeah, Surveillance is another gen information perk that is great, especially if you run Surge, Pain Res, Oppression, any Eruption, perks like that. Now granted, Eruption's kind of a weird one because you already know someone's repairing the generator because you see their aura, but it's just, Surveillance is good. Surveillance is a good perk. I like Surveillance. Bamboozle is one you might be like, why is this here? You have no chase power. Shutting down strong windows is actually really helpful for you. If you make a chase-oriented build for Ghostface and you don't have Bamboozle in, you might be going a little crazy because shutting down really strong windows forces them to either play inoptimally or can throw them off long enough for you to potentially finish off a mark on someone who's 99 and down them immediately. I'm all ears. Or reading on any rushed action on the cooldown of like 30 seconds. It's pretty good, especially on range killers, obviously, but like Ghostface is one who uses a lot of his perks fairly well. Like Adept Ghostface might be one of the easier adepts, if I'm being completely honest, because his perks work fairly well with his kit in general, especially I'm all ears and Thrilling Tremors. Furtive is a little weird. But I'm all ears is just good extra information mid-chase. I see no reason why it's not strong. Thrilling Tremors. Whenever you pick up a survivor, all generators not being worked on are blocked. And then you go a cooldown for 30 seconds. Free information for picking up a down survivor. You know which generators are being worked on, and you can head there right after. Now, obviously, this comes with the issue of if they figure out Thrilling Tremors is in play, they'll just not work on any generator whenever a survivor is picked up, and you'll get nothing. Sure, but there's obviously other ways to work around that, and a lot of times that doesn't happen anyway. So, Nemesis. Whenever a survivor stuns you, they become the Obsession and gain Oblivious, and you see the Obsession's aura whenever a new Obsession is made. This is really, I think honestly I should probably have this a tier lower, but this is still pretty good. Oblivious means they can't see your terror radius, so you can mind game in Chase without having to like go into Night Shroud. And also pairs really well with perks like Friends Till the End, so that's fun. Coup de Grace is one that I personally don't like, but it is pretty strong on Ghostface because, yeah, longer lunge range is very nice. Granted, you can only use it twice per generator completed, but, you know, it's still good. No Way Out, preventing the gates from opening as long as you can is really, really good on Ghostface. Especially if you have an endgame build paired with no-ed. Really, really good strong pick. Deadlock or No Holds Barred if you don't have Pinhead. Just blocks the most regress generator for like 25, 35 seconds. I don't remember which one is which. I get this one confused with Dead Man's a lot, I'm gonna be honest. But it is very good. It is very, very strong. It also tells you which one is the most progressed, so you can go over there if you need to. The one thing I have noticed is that if this activates and every other generator has not been worked on, it just picks a random generator, so you gotta be careful with that. Scourgehook Gift of Pain or Scourgehook Weeping Wounds if you don't have Pinhead. Pairs really well with Dying Light. Gives the survivors that you unhook, that are unhooked, Mangled, and Hemorrhage for like 70 seconds. And then also makes it so once they are fully healed, they repair 16% slower. That is huge. That is huge. So it's either they stay injured to keep the repair speed, or they heal, but then they repair slower. Wow, man, it's just Gift of Pain is just kind of the fuck you Scourge Hook, isn't it? Grim Embrace. This one's also fairly obvious. Every time you hook a survivor, generators are blocked for a certain amount of time, and then once you hook all 4, it is much, much stronger. I'm gonna say it's like, yeah, 1 to 3 tokens, 10 seconds, 4 tokens, 40 seconds, and you see the Obsession's aura for 6 seconds. Only activates once you're at least 16 meters away from the hook. This is, again, really good general slowdown. Good job if you're running this. Nowhere to hide. You see survivors within 24 meters of you for 5 seconds once you kick a generator. No cooldown on this perk for some reason. This is kind of a, Nowhere to Hide is kind of in general a crutch perk for killers, but I think it is a good, strong option, especially if you're running Eruption, which I am currently running Eruption. Rapid is a weird one. Rapid Brutality is a weird one. Getting rid of Bloodlust for 5% haste after an M1 is a very interesting trade-off. And if you're not able to get marks off a lot in your games, this might be something worth running. Maybe. It closes the distance between loops faster and is just generally really good. And of course, Jagged Compass. Makes new Scourge Hooks if you hook on a non-Scourge Hook, and shows you where the most progressed generator is once you hook on a Scourge Hook. It's very nice, very good perk. Everything in works best in specific builds. Works best in a specific build. I'm not really gonna go into that. The only ones I consider maybe changing from here would be Scourge Hook Floods of Rage and Hex Face the Darkness, because Floods of Rage makes it so you see all survivors' auras whenever they are unhooked from a Scourge Hook. Really good information. It also denies, depending on how fast or how slow they unhook the survivor, it could deny any value out of self-preservation, which is pretty good. And Face the Darkness is just a really funny one. It's not particularly useful, but I like the fact that you can just make survivors scream every 25 seconds if you leave someone injured. The best part too is if you that injured survivor is healed or downed before the totem can be cleansed, they can't cleanse it. It's one of the most like dynamic hex perks in the game. It's actually pretty neat. And yeah, this is pretty much every other perk. It's just you don't have many options with Ghostface. I'm just gonna be honest. You really don't. Of course. Now that just leaves general tips and strategies I like to use when playing Ghostface. And there's not really much, because I'm still only like 1 year into playing this killer. Let's be honest, not particularly good at the video game. But obviously there's some standard stuff I can give you that pretty much everyone will tell you, which is stay out of sight. Don't try and traverse the entire map crouch unless you're doing a meme challenge, which is funny. You're probably gonna lose doing that, but I respect the funny. Pick your cosmetics wisely. This is one that I feel like not a lot of people really think about with Ghostface, and why I only ever run the default Shroud. Because if you're going into like, say, I don't know, like Eerie of Crows wearing the icicle skin, like you're gonna get spotted immediately, as opposed to like Cold Wind with the brown like scarecrow looking mask and an outfit. I forgot what it's called, but you know what I mean. You learn how to get good range out of your M1. Any M1 you can hit on characters like Trapper and Trickster, you can hit with Ghostface, even if it doesn't look like it, because of the way the animation is, because of the way he holds his knife. And of course, use your power. A lot of people really don't like to use their power with Ghostface, and I don't know why. Why would you not use the power that your killer has to help you kill the people? You know? even if Ghostface's power is so very easy to invalidate, you really should be trying to use it as much as possible, unless you constantly, or like unless you're like going against a Swift or like a really coordinated group of just random solos that constantly have someone up your ass, then don't even bother. That's when you kind of have to adapt and go chase face. Which adapting as Ghostface is probably going to be key to winning. Taking weird paths, like using your stealth to get ambush hits, like just be unpredictable and try and take in and absorb as much information and planning as strategy as possible. As literally as much as possible. You'll notice that in pretty much every game I play, I run the default shroud and I run drop leg. Those are like the two constants. Perks might change. Because perks can always change to suit whatever strategy you think you need going into this. Like this one in the background, actually, I ran Lightborn because there were like 3 or 4 I don't remember exactly, but there was at least 3 flashlights in the lobby. I have another match where there's a 4-man with flashlights that got fallen refuge, and I had Lightborn. I had this exact build actually, and they folded hard. Adapt to what you see in the lobby, because anything to kind of make their items useless is very nice. Now obviously you could run Franklin's, but Franklin's demise kind of got gutted with the fog vials. Your best bet for that would be Franklin demise and weave attunement, because that's just free info on dropped items. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say for that, other than just be smart about your targets too. And also, as is the unfortunate truth, you're gonna get auto-aimed a lot. You're gonna get auto-aimed a lot playing this character. Be smart about your M1s. I don't really have much else other than break pallet. Yeah, break pallet when necessary. You can play pallets, you can mind game because of Night Shroud and getting rid of your red stain. But if you really, like, if you get survivors to just pre-drop a leave tile, run to next pallet, then just break the pallets. Because even if you take forever to get that survivor and down them, you're gonna chew through so many pallets that they won't have any. It's gonna be great. Windows are also gonna be annoying, but you can deal with that. And yeah, that's about it. I have a bonus game to share at the end of this now. If you, cause I don't care about Nostromo game bad. But I have a bonus game that I'd like to share with you, and yeah, hopefully you learned something from this, because otherwise I did my job poorly, and then you can yell at me about this. Yay! Enjoy. Okay. No distortion. Where'd Claudette go? Right there. Hi, Claudette. Oh, you greeted too hard. You greeted too hard, girl. No. Oh my god. Pathetic. I'm literally just gonna start saying it now. Anyone far enough away for that? On that gen right there, but we can get them off of this one. Okay, yeah. The bot's gonna auto-reveal me until they get off hook. That's fine. This this is a set chase for a second. Might break this Pavla in a bit. Okay, better off hook. Windows? No pallet there. Right there though. Make that. Perfect. Bot is healed. Where's the furthest possible hook from everyone? Right there. I think they healed the bot under the hook. Oh, I gotta tunnel the bot out. Good premonition on you. It's Zarina, right? Yeah, it's Zarina. Okay. I want to trap her in... Here we go. We already wasted like... Oh, never mind. Oh, and we have one of the furthest hooks right here. Barbecue and chili value. No one's on a generator. Yeah, I see you. No life. Poor Nia, man. Or this hook be back here. Get maximum value at barbecue. Okay. But it's probably this way. All things considered. Right here. I'm right. Why would you? That's UV. Look for Claudette. Oh, it's a bot. You really shouldn't be, but you're giving them a moment to recover. It. Right there. So is right there. That should be regressing still because the driver's license. Doubled up on bad generator. I will say, they're doing really well, considering the state of this match. However, 1 dead, 2 undead buff, and 1 just freshly unbuffed is not looking great for them. Case in point. No, won't bring it. They are within 40 meters. Not the person I really should be taking the chase with. If I can get off this goddamn rock and go here this way. Because... oh, there's less resources. Finesse. Should spun you around to the other pallet, yeah. She's gonna chase him. Just saw Louie, so ditch that chase and go for her, because no. No, you guys fucked up. You kind of deserve this. The moonwalking is nice. Back here, we'll get barbecue on Mia. Oh, it's right there. Just gonna get it. Never mind, she's stupid.